Coaching for almost 2 years already, and I noticed that one of the things that really is holding me back is all kinds of fears that are showing up in my consciousness around I really want to serve my clients in the most powerful and great way that I can, but I'm aware that whenever they bring up to the table something that I am still in the process with myself, that's when my fear is mostly showing up for me. And that's coming from the place because I really want to serve them powerfully.
Yeah.
And there is this worry, how can I really serve them in something that I'm actually struggling with?
Part of being a conscious coach is having a practice of self-care, of keeping ourselves really clear so that we can be able to support somebody else. But it's also not to say that you need to be perfect or not have any issues to be able to really offer value, because that's not true either. Yes, doing our own inner work is helpful, and we can talk about this, but I think the first thing is to bust the belief that we need to be perfect or have everything resolved to be able to coach somebody else. So consultants and experts usually have an expertise in something that they can advise and give advice or specific strategy around. Sometimes coaching includes that, but not necessarily. Like, I don't need to know how to run a restaurant to be able to coach somebody in opening a restaurant. I get to support them and strengthen themselves to be an entrepreneur, or to call them out, or to help show them blind spots so that they can really grow into the professional that they are. But I don't need to have walked the same path necessarily. And actually, I do find it easier if I do my own inner work because it's universal. And then I lean in to support them because I've just done it for myself.
Yeah.
And so I just want to give you permission. You absolutely don't have to have it all together. I think that's actually just a block in and of itself.
Yeah,
and
I feel like it is a block.
Yeah. And I would just encourage you to welcome that block directly, just to breathe into it right now. Like, totally okay that this belief has come up. So innocent, so sweet. And yeah, tuning into your heart, being of service. But just because we have this space here, it's like, what if we just explore this fear? It's like we could go two ways. One is to really just stretch the capacity to feel the fear and be free of it. Or we can help you take dominion over it and just refocus so we don't tend to it, right? Because I don't want to, and it depends. Like, so as a coach, I would encourage you to not indulge a feeling or with your clients and not resist it, but just to be in a space of allowance. But this thing keeps popping its head up, so let's just give it some airtime without indulging it. Let's just let it be here for a moment. You open to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is this fear?
It's like a fear of being seen in a way. Like, I'm aware that I'm projecting this idea that my clients might be expecting me to be in that place where I did get it all figured out, and they want me to serve them. And the truth is, it's actually me who is expecting myself to be in that place. And the idea, like, somehow I do need to be perfect in order to be ready to serve anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and the fear is that to be vulnerable in a way, you know, to be seen that I'm not perfect and I'm never going to be. And it's the idea to call myself coach. It's like as if I attach to it. Coach is somebody who has done all that work already and have it all figured out, and therefore they're ready to serve and help others who are struggling still. But I really appreciate how you reflected it back to me that we might be a work in progress, you know, like constantly working our own process.
Yes.
While still being fully ready to serve.
And I'm curious, Diana, if we actually turn the tables a little bit, how could it be more of service to be seen in your vulnerability as you are to your client and welcome all parts of yourself?
Yeah.
Could that actually be more of service to them? To be like, I'm human and that's okay. And this is how I be with that. I'm not holding myself to an expectation that's not real. Yeah. And I'm here to support you in doing the same because that's what we really want anyway.
Yeah. It really resonates with my heart what you just said.
Mm-hmm. And I think a good coach is about supporting them and feeling their fullness, welcoming all parts of themselves so that they feel their wholeness and completeness rather than projecting their light onto us. That they get to really own their own shadow and their light. And it's like, as you're willing to do that with us right now, you'll unconsciously and naturally be able to hold and support people in doing that for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's this thing that I used to have in my head. It's like complicated thinking that it must be complicated. I have to do so much work to resolve this. I'm like, oh, I'm like, why?
And here you are, perfect as you are, just the story on top of that, confusing us, not seeing the deeper truth of your perfection already. Totally innocent. And that's not another problem. That's even welcome too.
Yeah.
So does it feel authentic for you to redefine what a coach means?
It's just showing up in my humanity, my vulnerability, my authenticity, just being me and trusting. But if I'm if I'm feeling called to do that work, and I've had this calling for so many years, really appreciating myself and what I have to offer, and letting go of the story of I need to be perfect in order to serve greatly.
Yes. And letting go of the story of their results or non-results too.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if we tie our self-worth or our greatness onto that, that's a victim stance. And it's a trap at some point when somebody doesn't do well because they've hit a rough spot or they're not moving through something. But like you being willing to stand in your authenticity and fullness of welcoming all parts of you, what I'm hearing is part of your new description of as a coach, to be seen, to be authentic, and to be of service but unattached.
Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate that because I used to have that tendency of taking it all on me. Like
Yeah,
I'm
I'm great. I'm not great. It's like we get really delusional. Yeah. And really I'm hearing it's like our description is within us. Yeah. Our role, and we get to show up in our greatest capacity and be in service, unattached to how they do, but fully showing up for them and ourselves.
Yeah. Which I'm very well aware that's what I'm doing, showing up fully always.
Yeah.
Like, just like I'm having that expectation of myself to get the results. I want that for them.
Yes.
But it's a great reminder, high involvement, low attachment.
That's right. That's right. And so when this pattern comes up, because it may, at one point, come up again, what's your intention? How do you be with that? It's like, I'm going to get great results, or, this, I need to do it perfect. How do you want to choose to be with that one moving forward?
Well, I think that just the simple thing that I just said, being very clear in my own consciousness that I am showing up fully and I have the intention to serve greatly and do the best that I can, and really trust that whatever shows up for them, whatever direction it's taking, it's for the highest good. And there's no way for me really to know what is for their highest good. That's right. Just really trust it.
But I mean within yourself, independent of them. So when the previous block that had come up that said I should be healed or I should be perfect or fixed or I should get them results or whatever that voice is within yourself, independent of them, how do you want to show up within yourself, in your life and as a coach?
Really talk to that little one inside who's trying so hard to be perfect. Because being raised in Russia, that's all I heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I have to be the greatest, the most perfect, the best one, to be able to show up. And until I'm not that, who am I to dare? I'm done with that.
Yeah. What does she need to hear from you, Diana?
So precious. You don't need to try so hard It is so much more simple than you thought. Just be you. I love you. You were born with this idea that you came to this world to make it a better place, but it's already perfect, and you're part of it. You are perfect too. Yeah. You are in the world perfect, just the way you are. So just breathe and let it be. Let yourself be you. And trust. Yeah. And see her little face smiling. Really? Is it that simple?
Yeah.
Yeah, because being raised in Russia, that's not what I was told.
Yeah.
It's all about be excellent, be the best.
Yeah, yeah. I so honor your courage and your vulnerability and your willingness to be seen with us. I mean, you are demonstrating it. There's so much wisdom within you. My goodness, what a gift you are. Yeah.